Tonight, we are certifying MAGA. That's right, it's an all-new January 6th, and this time, the good guys won. Also, we're going to be talking about a big resignation north of the border. It's got everybody talking. And, of course, we're still asking questions about those terrorist attacks over the New Year's weekend. All of this is coming up right now on The David Pollack Show.
Americans are feeling the squeeze, struggling with the cost of everything from gas.
How do you feel about the economy? Raising interest rates.
Iran's most intense strike ever against Israel.
Get up, puppet.
What, Dave? What?
We got work to do.
Puppet Carlson reporting for duty. I'm driving, Dave.
You're not driving.
I am driving, Dave. I'm in the Cybertruck.
Come on.
I'm gonna regret this.
All right, I don't know about this. Are you sure you want to try to drive?
Dave, Elon made this sucker to drive itself.
All right.
Let's boogie. I got this, man.
Can you even reach the pedals?
Sit down and cool it.
Puppet, pick a lane.
Chill out, Dave. I'm a non-binary driver.
Let's get to work.
Wait up, Dave. I'm the star of this show.
Hey, welcome to another exciting David Pollack Show featuring this guy right here, my plush patriotic pal, Puppet. Welcome, Puppet. I have to tell you how impressed I was that you covered for me last week. I still see that you bit my logo over there now. You
Yeah, Dave, I got a new sign over here. I've upgraded from the Puppet Carlson Network to the Puppet Carlson Show. I don't know if you can see that there with sidekick David Pollack.
Yeah, I let you. I didn't see it with sidekick David Pollack. I let you fill in one damn time, and you think you own the show. I mean,
Dave, you know, I've gotten such great feedback.
Have you? What sort of feedback have you received from hosting the show? I heard that the guest you had was the best. Well, other than the co-host, I heard that the guest you had was the best guest ever in David Pollack Show history, and it was me, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, Dave. So so you came in, you did your thing, you were still on the show. You couldn't even leave the show for 2 minutes, but we did have a great show.
No, you needed me. I saw you on your little puppet berry. You texted me, and you're like, Dave, you got to get in here, Dave. I'm struggling over here without you. I need you to come on in. And so I said,
I never said anything like that, Dave.
No, you actually, you even typed out the in your text. And so I was like, oh man, I'm skiing up in West Virginia mountains.
That never happened.
It totally happened.
Listen, the FBI took all of our cell phones and erased them. That never happened.
It happened. Well, anyway,
we've got some new listeners or watchers of the show tonight. We've got Gary over there. Gary said the puppet is hilarious. So there you go. Thank you, Gary.
Well, how much did you pay Gary? How much money have you spent tonight on bringing in these fans?
Quite a number of dollars, but you know, hey, it's worth it. Yeah. We've got GQ Barbecue. He wants us to take call-ins, but
we could figure that out.
We have to work on that. We haven't taken call-ins, but you can type in the chat. You can see it,
and we'll put your comments up on the screen.
We'll put your comments on the screen.
Now, Puppet, tonight I have a surprise for you.
Oh,
and I don't want to delay it because I'm really excited about this, and I'm going to tell you why. So I was in a space, like a I don't know, a week ago, maybe I don't even know, 2 weeks ago, and I don't know how you came up because I don't know why anybody would be talking about you, but somehow puppets came up. I don't know how it came up, but anyway, a very, very funny comedian, a friend of mine, was in the space, and somehow we discussed getting a specific puppet, and I'm like, you know what, I have a puppet, and then we had this whole conversation. I'm like, you got to come on my show and hang out with this puppet. You'd be great, and so it turns out that not only is he a fantastic comedian, a host, speaker, author, really funny guy, and he knows his stuff. But it turns out he also likes puppets. And so I said, you know what?
He's a real Renaissance man, a real intelligent human being, of course.
Well, I don't want to go that far. I like him a lot, but I don't, His judgment might be clouded here, Puppet. So I said I
You're
have
going
to
to be
have.
in the minority here in a minute, Dave.
I know. What's new? So I said you have to come on the show, and I wanted to bring comedian Tim Young onto the show. Welcome to the show, my friend. Here is the puppet I was telling you about in the plush. Yeah, in the plush.
Baby.
And I was so excited to have you on because I didn't know that you were a fan of puppets. Not many people are. And so I was like, you know what? I have to have Tim on the show. I was excited to have you on the show before, but now there's this whole puppet thing going on. So now I wanted to welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, we're going to talk about the certification of the vote today. But first, I just want to welcome you and say thanks for coming and tell me about puppets.
I thought that I would have the largest head of the three of us, but that puppet Carlson's got a huge effing head. And,
that's right, because I've got a My Pillow for brains
and a bad attitude too. I mean, you would talk about a diva you've got working with you here. That's ridiculous.
Have no idea.
I know David is such a diva.
No. Listen,
I can't believe you told me that people don't want to come on with Puppet Carlson. I think
sometimes,
some people want to play along.
Some people are freaked out by Puppet Carlson. Natalie Winters of War Room. She's totally freaked out by Puppet, and he kept staring at her at CPAC, and understandably, but still.
She was freaked out, but at the same time, sexually attracted. So that's a weird thing.
It's the nose.
Then look at this profile. I mean, come on. Who isn't attracted? Sam, I love the fact that you have a hat wearing a hat.
Dude, I was told.
That's totally cool.
My buddy on the campaign said they designed this hat at one point. This is the only one of the 3 hats I ordered back like before Trump won the election. And I got this one in, but when they designed this, apparently they said like, who in the hell would buy this hat? And it's me. I'm like the one. This is probably a very limited hat. They've only made like one of it, and I'm the guy who ordered it.
I would buy that hat.
Yeah, it's a great hat.
It's meta. It's a MAGA hat on a MAGA hat.
It is. That's what I like about it.
It's official, and it's big enough for both of our heads. I can tell you that right now. I have a massive. My fitted hat size. I don't know if you know fitted hat sizes or not there, Puppet Carlson, but it's a 7 3/4. So I have a massive head.
Wow, that's a big head. Not as big as David Pollock.
That's almost the size of Puppet's manhole.
His.
We could probably fit that hat right up there.
David loves the manhole.
Yeah.
Except David's head is so big from an ego. He couldn't put on that hat even at its maximum size. Tim, even if you stretched it out as wide as it could go.
Not true. I have the smallest head on this stage. Look at it. I mean, clearly.
You know. By the way, I didn't come. When we talked about this, David, I told you, and you know what I've got on my hand right now. Is I brought my friend with me, McGruff. So,
Special Investigator McGruff, the crime dog.
He works for the FBI now, and he kept telling me, raid the Capitol. What are you doing? Why are you being peaceful?
Well, McGruff, let me ask you, McGruff, because I haven't had the opportunity to talk to any other.
Right?
I haven't had the opportunity to talk to any other puppets but this one. And McGruff, I'm curious to know.
The zoom is off on my my camera. Hold on,
I can tell you.
I love this puppet.
All right, so McGruff, I have to know because today's a big day. Today's January 6th, and of course, it's a big day because we just certified the most historic election in history. But Democrats, I'm going to show you a clip. I'm going to show you a clip of how serious today is for Democrats. I'm going to ask you a question, McGruff.
Wherever we were that day, whether we were on the floor, whether we were carrying a camera or a microphone, whether we were in uniform, protecting those whom we serve, whomever we were, whomever we find ourselves to be today, we ask that you would in some way transform our memories, that the blessing that we would have would be to be the reminder of the calling to which you have called us, to serve you carefully and faithfully, to deal with all that comes across.
Now, these were Democrats pretending to pray over January 6th. Clearly, they weren't doing a very good job, but it was their best chance to show the solemnness of today. But McGruff, let me ask you something. 4 years ago, January 6th, they want to make it seem as if these are a bunch of Trump supporters. From your investigation, what really happened on January 6th, 4 years ago, Mr. McGruff?
As a promoted agent of the FBI now, there were no FBI agents involved. No one was there other than terrible Trump supporters who raided and murdered everyone and it was a terrible insurrection, and everyone belongs in jail forever.
Jesus, McGruff.
What the hell, Tim? What did you bring?
McGruff. That's I've heard that. It was worse.
He has been not the same since he started working in DC. He's not the same.
Yeah, that happens.
He's not taking a bite out of crime, huh?
Bite out of crime. Bite out of MAGA.
No.
Terrorist.
I used to look up to McGruff, and now I just don't know how I feel about him anymore. He seems to. You think you're going to keep your job there, McGruff? Once Kash Patel gets in there?
I don't believe they'll fire a Muslim like myself.
Well,
put a Muslim on him.
I didn't expect that from McGruff. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that he was a different character. I thought he was a real crime. I thought he was a positive America First guy.
Well, now speaking of eating pork, you have another puppet there, don't you?
Yeah, I have a couple. Hold on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you like that segue?
That was a great segue, Dave. That was an excellent segue, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to make sense to a lot of people.
Not
really
a real
soon.
guy. That guy, I don't know what happened to McGruff. I don't know. You get a promotion, you sell out. You go to DC, it's disgusting. You know, and I don't know. But this, I did get. This is my favorite. This is my favorite Constantine.
Oh yeah,
I love. I'm not going to do the Constantine voice here, but I do. I love puppets, man. I love? I really do have a thing for like. I love that Disney made this. Actually, I'm sorry I'm sorry I'm a libtard and bought things. No bragging. I'm sorry I bought a Disney product, but I think it is like I am not Kermit the Frog.
Is that Putin's puppet?
It is.
Oh shit! That is Putin's puppet.
I am not Kermit.
I love that. I love the Muppet.
Oh my god!
Jim Bob says that McGruff is Ray Epps' dog.
he's actually Ray Epps' boss. Ray Epps is his bitch.
That's right. That's right.
I was shocked about. I'm glad I got rid of McGruff. That guy. He's.
I
evil.
know. We're not going to the Capitol. We're going into it.
Oh yeah! I did not see that coming. That he's now a federal government shill.
Muslim federal government shill.
But you know what? He got a lot of his money from Department of Education funding.
True. Yeah, and then most of us get their indoctrination from Department of Education funding as well. So it kind of all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Terrible. So big day today. I saw you post about it. I want to pull up actually the video you posted. I got to look really on. Oh God, this was the best thing ever. First, I have the video you posted, but first I have to show this because this is going to. If this doesn't make your heart fill with joy and pleasure, you're not MAGA. Here, check it out.
United States, as delivered to the President of the Senate, is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris. Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
Yeah, I don't know if they're cheering that she lost or what, but
it just felt like they had to cheer for her because otherwise,
Imagine being on a national stage and having to announce that you lost, that you're the loser. I think that was incredible today. I mean, what a fun time for everyone to watch, you know?
Yeah.
When she read that certifying vote and you heard not only just the massive electoral college win, but to have her have to say it and certify the vote. Compare that to January 6th, 4 years ago, and we were in a totally different election where I don't even think it was much of an election. I think it was a selection. And then Kamala Harris, after everything they did, Tim, after 4 indictments, after lawsuits, after 2 impeachments, after the Mueller investigation, after Russia, after trying to kill President Trump twice, after all of that, after replacing Biden with Kamala Harris, everything, $1 billion spent hiring a Beyonce and of course WAP, WAP herself.
I believe it's pronounced WAP.
WAP. Well, it depends on your accent. If you're from the Midwest, it's WAP. You're from New York, it's WAP. But all of that, and she still had to read the massive victory of Donald Trump. I mean, come on. What's your thought?
I loved it. I mean, I did a 4-hour live stream and got drunk today celebrating with everybody.
Yeah, 1.7 million viewers, by the way, on that live stream, guys. If you haven't seen it, you could watch it. If you go to at Tim Runs His Mouth over on X, you can actually see that rebroadcast. 1.7 million.
My day was a coffee, drinking more, taking a nap, and then getting up and doing this.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing you should have drank before is probably this show, considering what we have going on.
What we got. You know what was funny, Dave? That clip was actually edited by 60 Minutes because after she said the whole number, she went on to explain what a whole number was. She's like, a whole number is a number that's a whole. It's a full number, and it's complete in its numberness.
It's like it's got a hole in it, like a 6 has a hole and a 0 has a hole.
And it's whole. It's whole. And if you're going to be whole, then, that's why we have whole numbers.
Gosh, she is so difficult to listen to.
Yeah, they edited that out. I don't know why.
And Tim, you posted this earlier as well when she took questions from reporters. God, just hearing her voice, it literally sounds, like my co-host. But here, check it out.
Well, today was obviously a very important day, and it was about what should be the norm and what the American people should be able to take for granted, which is that one of the most important pillars of our democracy is that there will be a peaceful transfer of power. And today, I did what I have done my entire career, which is take seriously the oath that I have taken many times to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, which included today performing my constitutional duties to ensure that the people of America, the voters of America, will have their votes counted, that those votes matter, and that they will determine then the outcome of an election. I do believe very strongly that America's democracy is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Every single person, their willingness to fight for and respect the importance of our democracy. Otherwise, it is very fragile, and it will not be able to withstand moments of crisis. And today, America's democracy stood.
Madam Vice President, what's next for you? Are you running for governor?
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell she was talking about.
I was like, she looks like she just came back from a 2-month bender.
Well, and that was my question, Tim. You said you were having a drink earlier. How much do you think she had to drink?
A lot. She sounded like herself though today. I'm surprised she didn't cackle when she was reading the totals.
Yeah.
Totals. But she got through it. And if you're thinking you think you had a bad day at work, anybody out there watching this, like she's gonna go and call herself a loser and then answer questions about calling herself a loser though. So
I don't think she's gonna cackle for a really long time. After this,
she's probably cackling now. I mean, look, enough nose candy and booze, and you start cackling, whatever. So, she'll pick herself up. Maybe she'll get that stuff returned to her that she left in the West Wing.
Yeah. She's been looking for that.
If Hunter gives it back, he's been spending a lot of time there. I think they're trying to clean things up.
Oh, not this guy.
Come on, Christian nationalists, let's raid the Capitol.
Stop. We're not doing a January 6th again this year. We won.
You can fight. You got to fight for the democracy.
Yeah, you got to fight for democracy. That's what she said.
When you go to the Capitol, you can't go to the Capitol.
I heard of a great organization called Patriot Front. It's definitely nothing to do with the FBI where I work.
Where do they get
And
their
you
matching
call it a
clothes?
front because it's a front?
No, I got to ask McGruff. This is really good. McGruff, if you're going to create a group of people that is totally not the FBI, Why the matchy shirts and the matchy cargo pants, and that you can only get at like the FBI supply store, and the pre-printed signs? Like, doesn't that just look like an op to you, McGruff?
First of all, you sound transphobic. I don't understand what you're talking about here. Everybody just wants to be safe. You wear cargo pants so that you have extra pockets for extra things you might need in the field, like extra face masks to be safe from COVID.
But if there's no COVID and you're outside, why does Patriot Front wear face masks then? Unless you're afraid to show your identity. Do you think that's FBI, or do you think it's really Patriot Front, just a group of white nationalists with Nazi flags in Nashville?
When we went out with the FBI dressed like those guys, I mean, hey, listen, we have nothing to do with those people. You sound again like a transphobe who hates DEI and persons of color. Disgusting to me. Jesus.
Yeah.
I never thought this guy was a sellout.
Have you been feeding him a raw diet? Like, I think
been
that
in
helps.
a trunk in my.
He's been feeding us a raw diet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know.
Looks like he's got crossed eyes for some reason. The light is hitting him. It looks like he's.
Well, he has to be. He must
say no to drugs.
Yeah, you must have found all those drugs you seized there, McGruff. I think you've been hitting him a little hard there. What are you smelling? Are you smelling Puppet? Do you smell his manhole? Do you smell Puppet's manhole?
I smell hate speech.
We've got.
I'm going to put him.
Bad dog.
Sit, Ubu, sit.
I never thought he'd be an agent for the FBI.
No,
I guess you just move up. I met him in Baltimore originally, and I guess you just go down the street, you get an appointment.
Yeah, you never know. You can never be too sure. I mean, maybe you can make him a drug dog. He seems pretty good at finding those.
Well, I just got to ask Kamala.
Well, I think today was probably not drugs. It was something else. She did look very sad today, though, didn't she?
Yeah, she also had a, they have those, their water is covered when they get up to the stand. So they have like clear liquid in a cup with a little cover over it. She takes it off and drinks it. I like to think that's like straight vodka.
It 100% was. I mean, she probably was chewing on, I think she was chewing on an olive pit during one of those. It was a really important day, because not only that, for everybody who was prosecuted under political basis, on a political basis on January 6th, they had to have taken a sigh of relief today too. I mean, look, I know there's a lot of, and we'll talk about this plenty on pardoning day. And Trump has already confirmed that he's going to be pardoning, commuting, and doing a lot of stuff for these guys. And for all of those people who are like, oh, they're bad guys, they were at the Capitol, they trespassed and all this. Even if they did something they shouldn't have done, it's important for people to remember they weren't prosecuted fairly.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They were thrown in solitary confinement for their own benefit for years at a time. They were charged under things that they shouldn't have been charged for, according to the Supreme Court. They were forced to take plea deals in order to avoid serious jail time for things like terrorism. These weren't fair prosecutions. So even if you were upset that somebody walked around the Capitol with a cell phone camera, through an open door after the police invited him in, even if you were upset about that, or even if you were upset about the violent people that were supposedly Trump supporters, even if you were upset about those, they still weren't prosecuted under the normal guise where you would prosecute those sort of crimes. They were hauled into federal court in Washington, D.C., regardless of where they were from. They were raided in the middle of the night, guns drawn on children and women. Horrific things happened. Some people committed suicide. One woman lost her baby. She was so stressed out about the incident. I mean, the way they terrorized January 6th defendants, right? Because they were defendants. They had a right to a defense. They had a right to the constitutional rights that belong to all Americans charged of a crime. These people didn't have access to a fair trial. So anybody who might say, well, what they did on January 6th is bad. Yeah, possibly. But what's even worse is a Justice Department. And even Merrick Garland today was out there spiking the football in the 1,500 prosecutions and counting. This has to be vindication for them today, right? This new January 6th, because the last election might have slipped through our fingers, but this one is decidedly ours, right?
Yeah, but I think vindication is when they get their clemency or their pardon. I mean, that's really where it is, and so that's 2 weeks away. Hopefully, Trump will do that on day one. It's got to be on his list of priorities. You're right, though. A lot of the people who like the charges of interrupting Congress or interrupting, congressional proceedings or whatever it was, and trespassing, things like that. Usually that's a slap on the wrist, a tiny fine. You never spend any time in jail whatsoever. It happens all the time. Lefties do it where they go and
right.
Stick themselves on the steps of the Capitol above the line where you're supposed to be able to stand on the steps of the Capitol and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, really, these folks have served their time plus. And it's, I really pray for a lot of these folks. I mean, there are people there, and I always talk about this because, I was a journalist for a long time, and I used to, I worked in the Supreme Court. I worked in the Capitol. And you can't go into that Capitol building unless you have official business. So if you're going to the Capitol for January 6th 4 years ago and you don't know that and you think it's the people's building that's just open all the time. Also, they had extra COVID restrictions at the time. You see these doors that are open, you're 20 lines back or whatever, and you start walking in the Capitol because you think you can walk in the Capitol because you don't see the signs that say no trespassing. You don't have cops telling you can't go in there. And so these people were totally set up. Many of them were totally set up with this trespassing, with this interruption of congressional, whatever it is,
official proceedings.
Whatever. Yeah. Because they didn't know. I mean, I knew so I was there on January 6th. I came up on the side of the Capitol where the Supreme Court is, where there was absolutely nothing basically going on. There were people up on the steps, but I know not to get on the steps above like the 5th step because there's a sign that says you can't go past that typically. And I thought something was wrong when those signs weren't there. So I didn't even step on the steps. And FBI called me a couple of months after the investigation started to ask me about stuff. And they were like, you're not in trouble for anything. They always say that, but I wasn't.
Of course.
And I actually recorded every second I was there. But it was just really interesting. Like how many people got suckered into that just had no idea. And you have to be somebody who operates in that building regularly or who has operated in that building regularly to know where the lines were and where you're not allowed to trespass.
Yeah. Well, and considering some people were pushed in once the crowd started going into the Capitol, and of course we've all seen the videos of the police going like this, opening up the gates. And yes, there were some people breaking windows. Of course, we don't know who they were. Maybe they were Trump supporters. Maybe they weren't. But after everybody was in, certain people got moved into the building physically. Yeah. You couldn't turn around and leave. Yeah. There was a lot of things going on. And then it was probably an hour later where people were walking up to open doors and literally just walking through. All of these people were treated exactly the same, and some of them faced very serious charges. That's why this clemency in certain cases and pardoning in others. And there's a difference, right? Clemency is saying, look, you're not going to be responsible for your conviction. Pardoning is you're going to be pardoned of your crime. And there's going to be different circumstances for different people. If you attack the police officer, obviously you're not going to be treated the same as somebody who took a picture of a statue. But that being said, even if you attacked a police officer and you were prosecuted as a January 6th insurrectionist, you still didn't receive a fair trial, which is why all of these January 6th prosecutions were so garbage. And let me tell you this, for anybody who thinks I'm crazy, Joe Biden, in pardoning Hunter Biden, said exactly that. This prosecution was political, therefore I'm pardoning my son. And that should apply to Trump. That should apply to all January 6th defendants. That should apply to Steve Bannon. That should apply to George Papadopoulos. That should apply to Roger Stone and Peter Navarro. Everybody that was prosecuted for political purposes, everybody should receive a pardon. Now, some of them have already received the pardon. Others will. This is where we are right now. And I think once we put to bed the political prosecutions, I think we can move forward as a country, Tim. And today, that's why I look at today being January 6th as a new January 6th, because what we're doing is we're putting to bed everything that happened between 2020 and 2024. And we're starting anew. And the Democrats' fake prayer, they didn't even know how to pray fake. I mean, that was so bad. They can't even pray fake. And, I hope that they behave and they act like adults. They sort of did today. I don't know, Tim. What do you think?
I'm kind of shocked that there wasn't more screaming and wailing about Donald Trump winning. Yeah. I think their little bit of cheering was all they got out today. I'm really shocked. I'm shocked that there wasn't a January 6th on their side, to be honest with you.
They had a snowball fight, which is appropriate. They literally snowballs fought with snowballs. So I guess that's the best we can ask for. I forget who said it. One of the idiots said, it's too bad the weather like this wasn't here on January 6, 2020, or the insurrection never would have happened because Trump supporters didn't like the cold, or some ridiculous things. But I think we're winning. I think we're just getting started. I think once Kash Patel gets in there, once we get Pam Bondi in there, once we start getting the right eyeballs looking at what happened over the last few years, I think a lot of changes are going to be made. I think a lot of Americans are going to be shocked to learn what happened in the 2020 election, what happened in January 6th, what happened in New York with Judge Merchan's courtroom, what happened in Georgia with Fani and her bag of money that she sleeps on next to Nathan Wade. All of these things, I think we're going to get some real answers, and it's going to shock a lot of people. And thank God for X, because if it wasn't for X, we wouldn't even be allowed to have these conversations. So, I'm excited, Tim.
I am too. No, I think things are going to be pretty good here. I think there's a very rough road ahead for all of Trump's nominees. I think they do get confirmed, but you have to remember they have to staff up then in order to be able to accomplish things. And it's just a lot of red tape and a lot of bureaucracy they got to cut through. So if you think something, the folks who are watching this, if you think something's going to happen overnight, it ain't going to happen. It's going to take a long time to accomplish what he needs to accomplish. It's just an uphill battle, a major uphill battle, especially for Kash Patel. I'm really looking forward to, because that guy's just a cool guy.
Yeah. I think it's the beginning of where we need to go. I'm disappointed Matt Gaetz isn't going to be the AG. I think Pam Bondi's going to be fine. But it would have been a real reckoning having Matt Gaetz in there. But I can say this. We're on the right track, and I think we will get those confirmations. Sebastian Gorka used to tell a story about when Donald Trump went to the White House and he started asking for people. And the FBI told Sebastian Gorka, you're not going to get them. What do you mean you're not going to get them? You're just not going to get them. We're not sending them over. So they literally fought him, every step of the way. Hopefully they don't fight him again this time. I don't know. I'm confident it's going to be a much different administration. Trump learned his lessons, and I think we're on a winning path.
I am too. Hopefully I'll have my voice back in 2 weeks. That's my I just realized I blew my voice out. That McGruff really kills you.
Well, he probably put bird flu. He probably put bird flu in your water.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And,
it can go from birds to dogs and then humans.
Yeah, it could be the dog flu.
Pangolins.
Yeah,
it's another way to get things from.
Yeah, all those things are possible. And, just as long as if he starts flying a drone around your house with contrails, get out, man. Just get out. Yeah.
Terrible.
Tim Young, thank you so much for being on the show. Now I know you're tired and have had a long day with 1.7 million people on a live stream. We're going to take a break and then we're going to have the panel come on. You're welcome to stick around if you want. If you've had a long day, that's cool.
I need to take a nap, but here's what I promise you. I will come back when I am fully when I have a really shitty live stream, I'll come back.
Oh, well,
and when nobody's watching and I cut it in 30 minutes, I'll be here for a full hour with you.
Well, you're never going to have a shitty live stream, so we're going to have to come up with different terms. We'd still have to have you back. And of course, next time bring Republican puppets and, MAGA puppets.
I don't have them. As Puppet Carlson knows, most puppets in the entertainment industry are leftists and commies. And so it's very hard to find.
It's the union. It's the union.
It is.
We'll work on that. I really appreciate you being here, guys. If you're not following at Tim Runs His Mouth, Tim Young, you don't know what you're missing. I've had spaces with this guy. I've been now on a show with this guy. I can't tell you how funny he is, and how much, not only do you have knowledge of the politics, but then you do it with humor. And that's what we try to do on this show. Look, politics is serious stuff, and we need to take it seriously. But, man, it's fun to laugh about it sometimes, too, and be effective at the same time. So that's why I appreciate you so much, and your account is great. And so I encourage everybody to follow you. I can't thank you enough for being on the show. Puppet, any last words for our guest?
Nope. Thank you for being here. Appreciate the puppets.
Nope.
Dialing it in. Yeah, Puppet Carlson's dialing it in tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not dialing it in. I've been talking all night.
Oh, he's talked enough. We don't want him talking any more than he's talking. There's all kinds of things in his union contract, his puppet union. There's all kinds of things. If he talks too much, and I got less time in the trunk, and
once he goes past featured extra, the rate goes up.
Yeah, I can't. I can barely afford him anyway. He's already a lot of he's high maintenance puppet. At my pillow expenses, the patented fill. I have to put him in the dryer to fluff him up. It's just a lot. But
I demand Gaza Dream sheets.
Fluffers do cost a lot of money on movie sets,
especially when you look at this profile.
Yeah.
He doesn't need any more fluffing. Tim, thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm
doing it live.
Doing it live. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. Thanks, Tim. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. And when we come back, we have the panel joining, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about January 6th. We're going to talk about a big resignation today. What?
What's green and smells like bacon?
What?
What's green and smells like bacon?
No, I'm not on this show, Puppet. Not now. The chat can answer that question.
Chat,
go ahead and pose that question to the chat. Go ahead and pose that question to the chat. I was about to take a break. Pose that question to the chat. Go ahead.
What is green and smells like bacon?
Okay. I know the answer. I'm not saying it on air. I will debate on putting it up as a lower third. Guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
I'm Scotty Cahill, and I'm the founding partner at FinSec Life. FinSec Life is an independent agency that works with a multitude of carriers that brings the best pricing to each client we serve. With our 40 plus years of experience in the industry, allows us to deliver unique results to each individual client. We do not get paid until your policy is placed, until you have your insurance. So we will do the work. We will ensure that everything is taken care of, whether you get the best pricing, whether you get treated fairly by the underwriting team. If you have an existing policy and you want to know whether the policy is performing as it should, or if you have additional needs for insurance, please contact us at 321-800-3901, and we'll be happy to quote you on a new insurance. The phone number again is 321-800-3901, and the website is finseclife.com, financialsecurityforlife.com.
In today's fast-paced world, effective communication is the backbone of successful businesses. Are outdated systems and high costs slowing you down? Switch to Public Telephone Company for cutting-edge voice-over IP solutions. Enjoy seamless connectivity, unparalleled reliability, and significant cost savings. Tailor-made voice-over IP solutions designed for your business needs. Join countless businesses in transforming your communication with Public Telephone Company. Public Telephone Company. Revolutionize the way you connect.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
I am so sick of this woke crap.
Let's watch TV for normal people.
A super influencer is someone that takes the cause that they fight for, whether it's social media, networking, partnerships, and just dominates that movement with it. Let's get into today's episode.
We got to build a chicken coop today.
We have 4 beautiful children that we adopted.
Anytime you're out there with your kids, it's teaching them to be a productive member of society. Let's herd them like cattle, boys and girls. Come on. We take race out of it. We parent based off principles.
We're going to take everyone's phone so they can sit and actually talk to each other. This is a kitchen fight for sure.
My name's Tito Ortiz.
Get some!
Everybody knows me from the fighting world.
Real.
But I'm also an avid fisherman.
Tito Ortiz got his sea monster. Hello!
Hey guys, it's Conservative Ant.
I'm Kendall in Kentucky.
I'm Blake Reynolds.
I'm the Patriot Barbie.
I'm Amber Nicole Ortiz.
Check out the first and only non-woke entertainment.
Only on We the Studios.
You have daughters cheerleading, then you have parents chopping off their breasts.
There's so much to do to save America.
You know what that sound is, Puppet?
I do, Dave. It's panel time.
It is panel time. Now, you know, Puppet, if...
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead. I let you fill in one time for me, and you think you host the show. You could just interrupt me whenever you want. Puppet, go ahead.
No, I was going to jump in before you started to get started.
Listen, I was going to say, if you guys want to go to wethestudios.com, use promo code Puppet or Pollock, and you can save yourself a bunch of money on their subscriptions. Watch that original content. Find our podcast on there as well, and watch past episodes. Good times to be had at wethestudios.com. Puppet, I think we should be bringing in the panel now, right?
Sure, yeah, let's bring in the panel.
All right, I'm going in order tonight, as I always do, because I don't want anybody to get upset. And we got a first-time panelist this evening. His name is... There he is, Brett McIsaac. He is a veteran. He's known as Blue Collar Brett on X. He's a 2A advocate, and he works in construction. He was big time registering people in Florida and Georgia to help Trump get elected, and we're happy to have you on the panel. You look tiny today, Brett. What are you so tiny in that picture? It's like,
I don't know. I think it's the camera angles.
It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Panelist. Well, we'll figure that out. I'm welcoming back my good friend, the guy right there. Now, Brett, he's like out of the damn shot now. You know how to fix that. All right. Blake Reynolds, star of Raising Reynolds. He never did build that chicken coop you guys saw there from the promo, but it's going to get built, I think. You can check his show out.
Chickens are in there.
All right. Well, I guess it sort of got built.
They're living.
Yeah. Last but not least, I'm so glad she made it home in time. I wasn't sure we were going to get her. She was recording all of her important shows that she does. Miss Allie Leger, welcome to the...
What's up?
Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you. And
hi,
Brett,
guys.
what up?
I'm the only lady today.
What's up, Brett?
You got Puppet. Puppet doesn't have an anatomy, so I guess.
I have an anatomy.
Looks like a man.
He's definitely a boy.
I mean, he identifies as a boy.
I'm definitely more manly than David Pollock.
I mean,
I
mean, I'm not going to go there right now because it's a family show. But I don't know.
Right.
I don't know about that, Puppet. So guys,
just prove it.
Turn your head, Puppet. Turn your head. And
all you guys have to do is take a look.
Guys, this
look at this chin.
terrible.
Look at this profile. David, turn your chin. Turn your head. Round and doughy.
Like
that's doughy and round. Look at this masculine.
Doughy and round. You're literally filled with my pillow stuffing.
That's right. Well,
Literally.
I am soft and pleasurable, but you are not. Isn't that right, Brett?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
very soft.
Thank you.
Well, I don't even know what to say anymore. A big day today, January 6th, a day that will go down in infamy. You saw, if you watched earlier,
Worse than Pearl Harbor, worse than 9/11.
Worse than 9/11. You saw the Democrats praying.
Oh my God!
Here, I'll play.
Wherever we were that day, whether we were on the floor, whether we were carrying a camera or a mic.
They were on the
prayer
floor,
I've
all
ever
right.
seen. I mean, Democrats don't even know how to pray. They don't believe in God. They hate God. And yet they're sitting there being like, Lord, save us from these January 6th insurrectionists.
Did you say erectionists?
I didn't.
Okay.
The January 6th, Blake, I'm going to go to you first. Knowing that Kamala had to certify the vote, admitting that she lost, having to really, I mean, there's not enough vodka in the world to make that easy. To sit there in front of that Senate and confirm the vote. Tell me, how does today make you feel?
Well, for starters, I want to go ahead and say what's up to everybody. Why am I the only one, though, that doesn't have an Instagram handle? You just have my name right there.
You put
everybody
it in.
Else,
I didn't put it. You put it in.
Right?
You put
everybody.
You put it in.
You didn't put
so
it
that's
in.
me?
Yeah,
you my God.
So
okay, fine.
Ask yourself the question, why don't you put your
know.
Instagram handle in there?
And the answer is because we're all shameless promoters and you're not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Golly. Okay, so
They're facts.
I think I'm with
These are absolute facts.
I think I'm with the speaker just sitting there smirking the whole time. Like this is it's a taste of justice for us because it's not January 20th yet, but I think we all see the day approaching. It's almost here. And when they were whatever they were doing yesterday or the day before, when when Vice President Vance, the new incoming VP, when he was sitting back there smirking, and then today we have the speaker sitting back there smirking, and I think I was just watching smirking too because it's the taste of their own medicine, and I think just being able to just sit back and watch, you don't even have to say nothing. I think the look on her face, it's got to be embarrassing, because like it's not that you're just sitting, the whole country's watching because I don't even think she feels that as much as all of her colleagues standing there in the same room. And it's that like how that must feel. You know what I mean? It's like puppet without a bottom half. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how this been like, it's just gotta be awkward. And so I think if you're asking me how I feel, I could sum it up with this. I was smirking right there with the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, me too. Allie, send it over to you.
No, yeah, it was definitely there was some smirking going on. There was a little bit of chuckling and laughter. I don't think she looked depressed. I think she looked bitter.
Yeah. Well, but she's burdened by what has been.
That's right.
Yes, well, that's what happens.
Yeah. Brett.
When there's no substance.
she's just
So, yeah.
she's all vodka, no voice.
Do you think they had to tell her today, like, listen, you goofed up the pledge the other day. I'm gonna need you to not drink today. I need you to keep everything like copacetic. I wonder if they were like, just wait.
You can handle bourbon, Jim Bob.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you my conspiracy theory, and then I'm gonna throw it over to you, Brett. I don't like how quiet it's been. It concerns me how quiet it's been.
It's eerie.
A lot of people are saying
it is
that.
eerie because there hasn't been any temper tantrums. There hasn't been any burning garbage cans. There hasn't been any Antifa. There hasn't been any women with vagina hats. There hasn't been any celebrities.
But what has there been, though, David? Think about
There's
what
been
has
two
been
terrorist
happening,
attacks
though.
on New Year's. There has been a fall of Assad in Syria. Big deal. The return of ISIS. There has been drones over New Jersey.
New York, Florida.
Yeah,
Virginia.
but then even Judge Merchan today, and we could talk about this later, but even Judge Merchan said, oh, we're going to sentence Trump on the 10th, but don't worry, there won't be any fines or jail time. So what are you setting? They just want to call him a felon. They just want to be like the first felon ever to be sworn in. I don't know if they're going to attempt to try to impeach him because he's quote unquote a felon while he's exercising appeal rights. I don't know, but they're up to something. It's just too damn quiet, and I'm not comfortable with it. But, Brett, January 6th thoughts, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Well, January 6th is just, it's a double-edged sword for me, really, because the fact that to watch the American people, what they had to go through, and how the justice system was not on their side, everyone was against them. But at the same time, it also put it on the forefront for everyone to see the corruption with the J6 committee, everything they were doing. Just, it really was hard to deny that there was no corruption going on with these people. And it was clearly an attack on their political opponent, really. And then just to see everybody just be ripped away from their families for bottomless crimes, really. I mean, trespassing. I mean, there's people going to prison for 20-something years, and we're just sitting here like, this isn't right. And even the normal people, the people that aren't even really into politics, when it's blasted all over the television, everyone's looking at it going, this isn't right. And it just made people open their eyes a lot more.
Well, and that's a great point. I think it did open people's eyes. There's a lot of things that people thought weren't right that they opened their eyes about. And I think that's ushered in, that's why Trump went so big. But I think it's ushered in a new conservative renaissance, and you're seeing it around the world.
Yes.
Another place you're starting to see this is in Canada, because guess what happened today, eh? Check it out.
So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be.
So sad. Now,
has he always sounded this gay?
Yeah, always.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
I've not watched a whole lot of his speeches, but when I was watching this one, I was like, Jesus, he sounds so gay.
well, maybe those are the family struggles. But now there's another video that gives a little bit more insight about why it is that he is stepping down.
Mr. President, I must admit I was worried that you were going to try to humiliate me.
I would never embarrass you, Justin. Are you kidding me?
Thank you, Donald.
Now I want to see you eat it.
Excuse me? The hamburger.
The Big Mac, the president of all burgers. I'm gonna make you eat it like a dog with no hands.
Mr. President, I have self-respect.
Not so much, to be honest. I mean, he came like a dog, didn't he? He really did.
Mon ami, I come to you not on bended knee, but as an equal.
30% tariff.
My father taught me to
50% tariff.
Okay, we Canadians are a hearty lot.
60% tariff.
For Canada! I'm a hungry little puppy. I'm so hungry for my puppy chow.
All right, that's enough, Justin. I won't impose a tariff. I can't. I'm not even the president yet, am I? What a loser. Now let's DJ.
It's fun to stay at...
Okay, that was hysterical.
Hey,
That was pretty funny.
I have when you were talking about everything just being quiet and being a little bit eerie. Let me run this by you, see what y'all think.
All right.
I think that was just an option that had been played out, and to me it just seems like just especially out here in these streets, out here in the country, not a lot of people are talking the same way that they did 4 years ago, and then maybe there's just no motive to go out there and be those people right now, because I think a lot of the people on the left, and we're not talking about the figureheads, we're just talking about the hardworking American. I think the people that got behind the narrative 4 years ago weren't willing to get behind the narrative this go around, and I think even the left has been unburdened by what has been, and I think they're kind of freed up. And so you don't see a lot of. That's why they had a snowball fight. Snowflakes having a snowball fight. It's like, even if that's who that even was, but I don't feel like, from what I'm seeing on social media and different things, obviously you have you have people out there like your Harry Sissons or whatever that are trying to make their content, but you just don't see people getting irate like they were 4 years ago. And I think that might have something to do with it. So now all you have left are the people that could commit certain things. And I won't say it because I don't know, but now you're seeing the assassination attempts and different things, because I think their foot soldiers are tired, or they're worn out, or they just don't care anymore.
Well,
Blake, they're broke.
Yes.
That too.
They don't have any more money to give anybody. The people that they would pay to do these protests wouldn't even show up if it drizzled.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to make them show up in 7 feet of snow?
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening. They don't have the capital.
Well, they pay
to do it.
Beyonce all that money, that.
Right. Well, that's why I thought they were going to play the song "Party at
now,
Beyonce." Party with
Blake,
Beyonce.
that's an interesting point. And I think people are just pissed, and I think that's why Trump won so bigly, because I think the promise of Biden and everything they said they were going to do for people, they didn't do. Everybody's lives got worse, and that's the ultimate test is, was your life better when Donald Trump was president, or was your life better when Biden was president? And I think the majority of this country can easily say their life was better when Donald Trump was president, and more so now they have somebody to blame. Before they had nobody to blame but Trump if they were unhappy. Well, now they have Biden to blame, and then they have option B. So I do think you're right, Blake. I think people feel let down by Democrats. And let's also
who would be caught dead? Who would be caught dead going to the Capitol today, of all days? Like, you would, I would never be there today,
especially after what they did at January 6th. But that was kind of the point, right? The fact that nobody showed up. I think the FBI did what they hoped to do, and that's keep people from protesting or congregating, and that makes me nervous too.
So with that information though, that this train of thought that we're on, this conscious train of thought that we're on, what does that do for you, or what are your thoughts on a possible something happening on the 20th? Since nothing happened.
Me and Brian were talking about on our podcast the other day. I said, so what's your thoughts on going to the inauguration? And I think both of us said the same thing. I was like, I don't know if I want to be in DC. I don't want to be at a hotel. I don't want to be in a cab. I don't want to be on an airplane. I don't want to even be in the area. And it's like, I can show my support from here. I can show my support on social media, but I think because there's so much unknown of what the CIA, FBI, and everybody is capable of using people like me. Oh, he's got a "We the People" tattoo on his neck. We can make anything happen. We just need him in the area. Well, guess what? Blake's not setting himself up because I don't want to sit in jail for 4 years for something I didn't do. And I just,
Right.
so I just said, I think for me, I would be scared to be in the area, even if it's a terrorist attack style attack, if it's a setup from the government, whatever the case may be. I don't care. There could be drones, fog. I don't care. I don't want part of whatever's going on in DC on that day. I'm happy for Donald Trump. I'm excited. More, y'all know how excited we are on this side, but not enough. I'm not enough to put me in that situation. Heck no.
Do you think they win? Being that we won't, like, there's a lot of us are afraid to
Shows
go.
how smart we
Do you
are
think that's
now.
kind of like a giving
I
up
think it'll
a little
still
bit
be
of?
packed. I know people going. But
I'm
somebody
going.
somebody
Yeah.
asked me and
I'll
said,
be
"Hey,
there.
we have tickets." Yeah, we know you got the box seats up there. But I was just like, nah, I think for me in my
Who's your
house,
congressman? Never mind.
I don't know. I was actually
Never
invited to
mind.
Tito Ortiz's birthday party in Vegas. I might go to that. I don't know.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It both sounds like fun, but in light of J6, I don't even want to be in the area at all, honestly. Because I would have walked in the Capitol
There's a
that
lot
day.
of people that feel that
I
way.
would have walked in the Capitol that day if I was there. I would have done just like everybody else, and I would have walked in. And you know what? Speaking of J6 and all the different things, I know we're going to have a lot of a conversation, but remember when we were at Amfest, who we saw walking around with his hat on, David?
Yeah. Wait.
The shaman,
Yeah.
Hugh
Yeah.
Shaman
Jacob.
or whatever.
Yeah. Jacob. Yeah.
And this is what blows me away because I don't have an opinion of the guy, what he should have been doing, what he shouldn't have been doing. I don't have an opinion as far as that goes. I just know that there's people sitting in jail still that are innocent as all get out. And this dude actually stood behind the thing, like with his whole get up, stood behind the thing, and he's out taking pictures with people at Amfest. And it's just like, out of all the things, that one right there, like he's walking around with this sign and taking pictures with everybody while people are still in jail today over doing the exact same thing he did. It's just weird to me. And I don't want to find myself in a similar situation like that because it's like, how does this dude get out and all because like he's a huge celebrity now? You saw how many people were taking pictures with him everywhere. And I'm like, and there's still women sitting in jail right now for walking in and taking pictures of something. It's like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
Or praying,
Just a thought that I
praying
have.
at the Capitol steps, praying at
yeah.
the Capitol steps, and she's in prison.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's taking pictures with
You
everybody
can't
like
pull
a
off them
celebrity.
horns either, Blake. You can't pull off them horns either.
Dude, nah,
I think Blake can pull off the horns.
Dude's ripped. I saw him without a shirt on. I don't look like that. I can tell you that. But I think I could pull off the horns. The thing that I think I would struggle with the most is walking around like a celebrity, taking pictures with everybody, knowing that somehow I'm free and there's, like you said, the old lady praying on the steps is still in jail.
Yeah. It's been hard.
He went to jail.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I'll tell you this.
I mean, he went to jail, but then he got out. But he went to jail.
Yeah, how long did he go to jail?
I don't know, but he did go to jail.
I think this is a question for Karen.
He
David.
spent time in solitary. I had him on the show. I had Jake on the show.
David,
what?
Ask Karen how long Jacob was in jail.
You want me to ask Karen?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm running late now, but I'm going to do this because
just real quick.
All right. So we have a surprise panelist. Okay, her name is Karen. She knows freaking everything. Let's ask Karen what she thinks. She's really good at this stuff. Let's see. Hey, let's see if she gets on. Hold on, she's got to get online here. Okay. Jacob Chansley, how long did he spend in jail? She's thinking.
Jacob Chansley, known as the Keon Shaman, was sentenced to 41 months in prison for his role in the January 6th riot. He was released early and transferred to a halfway house in March 2023. In August 2024,
hold on, she's tripping. Karen's tripping. I
Dude,
can't.
Dude, what'd you do? Replace Karen with some trans dude?
I was just about to say
What
that.
the
That
frick?
sounded very manly.
Damn, that sounded like disturbingly bad. Like
I don't know why that happened. Karen
I don't
just
know
got all
why
crazy
Karen
on
sounds
me.
like a dude.
Karen became.
So people don't get
bitch.
twisted on this. I'm not saying he should got more. I'm saying they all should get less. And
I
it's
know
just it's crazy to see, like, he's walking around taking pictures, and then we don't hear about it because the media doesn't talk about it. It literally takes somebody on social media or X or some pointing out or highlighting somebody's story, and it's like, wait, we still got somebody in jail, and all they were doing is praying on the step. Like this is what's
Yeah.
crazy to me. So I
No,
don't
it was-
understand. I can't wait for
Cash. We talked about this earlier with Tim. I think Cash Patel is going to come in. I think Trump party says he's going to pardon and commute people. I think justice will be served. Now, I want to go back to the Trudeau thing real quick though, because I think this is really important. Trudeau, everyone wants to know, besides the Big Mac thing and the tariffs, why, Trump says, calls Canada the 51st state, says he's the governor of Canada. He trolls him. Next thing you know, tariffs are being threatened. Canadian officials are in Mar-a-Lago. And now everything's starting to change. Now Trudeau is not seeking re-election. Not seeking re-election. He's resigning. I think what's going on is, remember in 2020, sorry, I just had a mental breakdown. In 2016, Brexit happened after Trump won. There was a populist conservative revolt around the world once Trump showed how it could be done.
Yep.
I think Trudeau's about to lose his job because people of Canada remember what Trudeau did during COVID. People of Canada are
a tyrant.
Right,
Well, what
with
about the
immigration.
truckers rally as well?
Correct.
They had all their bank accounts seized,
Yeah.
started taking people's homes. I mean, and then I believe they created new laws so you could never do that again.
Exactly. And I think the people are ready to take back their governments, and Trump really showed the way. And the fact that Trump is getting the respect that he deserves at this point from world leaders, not like the first time when they tried to reject him. The world's respecting him now. I think Trudeau sees his days are numbered, and I'm encouraged by this. I see this as a sign of positive things to come for conservatives. I'm happy he's stepping down. I wanted to talk. I don't have time today. I wanted to talk about the terrorist attacks. Biden today was at New Orleans to commemorate those victims that were lost. I'll show you a quick video of this. Now, personally, I don't know if Biden. I think Biden probably thought he was.
I think he thought it was his own funeral for a second.
Yeah, I think he was maybe thought there were service members. I don't think Biden really knew what he was honoring. I think he just showed up and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to do this." And because here's him on the night of the terrorist attack, real quick. You just have to see this.
I know I can speak for all Americans when I say our hearts are with the people of New Orleans after the despicable attack that occurred in the early morning hours. To all the families of those who were killed, to all those who were injured, to all the people of New Orleans who are grieving today, I want you to know.
Has he ever looked more tired?
Let's just hope he can last till the 20th.
Yeah, could you imagine if he got reelected, that guy, in that condition?
Yeah.
Good.
We'd have a real weekend at Bernie's situation going on.
Yeah. It just seems like that would be, regardless of who it is, whether we like him or not, it just seems like a very tiresome job to have. I don't even know how Donald Trump does it sometimes. I'm like, how in the world does this man have this energy to do this? Because it is such a nonstop job. Now, speaking of the Trudeau situation and Trump, the whole Canada thing, I know y'all saw his truth that he put out. Is this a thing? Could this actually take place? Could it actually happen? Or is it just his gesturing, just being a troll, or what? I haven't paid it no attention because it seems unbelievable.
No, it's not going to happen. He was just trying to suggest that Canada is irrelevant and there might as well be a United States 51st state. He was basically saying Canada's our little B word. And that's all it was. And it was just the last straw, I think, for Trudeau. He was respected so little. And then to see the incoming world leader show how little respect he had for Trudeau and Trudeau's Canada, I think his days were numbered. And that's what happened. That's how effective trolling can be with Donald Trump.
Yeah, and I think it seems like when Trump does stuff like this, it's always setting up future negotiations, and I think he knows they're coming, and everything that he's saying right now. So when he does give them a little more than they expected, they take it, they bite on whatever he's giving them, because it's just like, well, for 4 months he's treated it like this. But it's good to see this close to the election, or sorry, this close to inauguration day, how emboldened everybody is becoming all around the world in the name of Trump. Because I don't know, you're seeing it in North Korea or South Korea, wherever it was today that I've been seeing all this, but talking about the unfair elections and different things. I'm like, wow, this Donald Trump has really emboldened every single country to look inward and go, hey, we're being screwed over too. If it's happening in America, it has to be happening here.
Definitely
And
happening here.
everywhere you see it, everywhere you see right now, it's like Donald Trump has completely emboldened the entire world, the entire flat earth globe.
But you know what? You know what I think it is too, Blake? I think it's not just him. I think he has helped create this movement, but I think it's the people. It's the people that support him. It's the people that bring that vision to light. It's the people that embody the spirit of what sovereignty and freedom really is. The fact that we're done being trampled over, we're done being lied to, we're done being gaslit. We're just done. We're just done. And I think everybody around the world is starting to realize that those that are sitting in power that we've put them in, right, in positions that we've put them in, they don't represent us at all and haven't for quite a long time. So I think when you have somebody like Trump who's able to infiltrate culture, which culture moves nations.
Yeah.
And if you
And
don't
it's like,
you don't change culture, you don't influence culture in a positive way, then you're just going to continue to perpetuate what we've seen over the last, I don't know, 60 years.
Yeah, and in the context of what I'm saying, Trump, that's what I'm saying. But Trump as the flagship, it's because when you're talking about we the people rising up, or we the people getting what we want right now.
It's
If
like a
Trump
yin
didn't
yang. It's like
exist, how hard would it be to feel that hope and that motivation if Trump didn't exist? And I think because we're watching him being done wrong, it empowers us. We're watching the courts do him dirty, it empowers us. We're watching people throw out another false claim about him, it empowers us. But if the figurehead Trump wasn't there, I think all of us would just be sitting here thinking either we're hopeless or we have to do something criminal. And I think Trump was the last legal hope that we had for we the people to go, all right, fine, because it's getting to a point where we're going to have to start taking this thing back 1776 style. And I think this was our last, it was almost like it was our last legal hope, basically. And that flagship. And as long as Donald Trump was still standing, like, man, when he got shot at, like, we were all like, for a second, and they were like, this dude just stood up and rocked his fist in the air and said, fight, fight, fight. And then for people like us, it's like, oh my God, keep going. Like, why stop now? I'm going to make another post right now. I'm going to make another post right now. And it's just, I think all around the world, like you said a while ago, I do think people are seeing that going, oh, this is what we have to do. The only difference would be we have that figurehead, and a lot of these countries don't necessarily have a figurehead. They just have a problem. They don't have a solution yet. We actually had a solution,
and we can
that's what's
export
great
that
about it.
solution. And it's January 6th, and now it's certified. I got to wrap the show. Brett, I want to throw it over to you and Puppet. Get your last words in. What's your take?
I mean, I agree with the Trump definitely emboldened the world. I agree with that. And also having social media on our side this time was a big bonus of these videos not being censored. They're getting circulated around the world. So when other countries see these videos without being censored, without them being taken down, or, was it Instagram or Facebook would flag you and say this is false or whatever it may be, we were actually able to use it to our advantage and let the world see. And I mean, if you look at all the videos of Trudeau, if you just listen to the background, you can hear every Canadian citizen just trash talking him. I don't think you can find one video where people are cheering or anything. And I think people really, like you said, got the motivation, and Donald Trump being at the top, holding that gavel for, the crown. Or I don't want to say crown, but just being that person for everyone to look forward
Being the
to.
flag bearer. Being the flag bearer.
And just basically taking all the bullets for us so we can sit back and just let our voices be heard. And I'm grateful for it. And I'm really excited to see what hopefully he can get done in the next 4 years and at least set the groundwork so we can keep moving forward and make this country great again.
Yeah. Puppet, last words going to you.
Okay, folks. Fleece stops here. And I'm going to wrap it up with this. What we have been seeing for the last 4 years and the response to Trump coming in is all due to a rudderless country with a leader that was absent. And when you have absentee leadership, what takes over, what fills the void is some deep state bullcrap leadership that's happening, that's undermining the country. Now we have a bold leader stepping in, about to step in. He hasn't even taken the office yet, hasn't even donned the mantle. And yet you see countries, you see people cowering, negotiating, trying to figure out how they're going to fit in, get a piece, stave off getting destroyed, all these kinds of things that a powerful leader brings to the table. And Trump is exactly that. He is a ball buster. He's got balls of steel, as we've seen from the fight. This guy's going in there. He's looking to make America great again. He's going to leverage everything he possibly can to get us everything he possibly can so we can take our position back at the top of the heap. I'm excited about it. Everybody should be excited about it. You're seeing the repercussions. There's going to be way more repercussions coming as his cabinet gets put in place and installed, and as we start making changes in this crap hole that we've been dealing with the last 4 years. And I'm looking forward to it. I know so many people are listening to this are looking forward to it, and we are going to make America great again.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Blake, Brett, Allie, as always, and my patriotic pal Puppet. I appreciate you guys so much.
David.
And big day today, guys. We certified the vote. It happened. Now we just have to make it to inauguration. Holding my breath for another 15 day or 14 days now. I'm going to leave you guys with this tonight. Somebody made, I don't know who made this video. It's hilarious. It's Trump dancing in the Capitol on January 6th. So I'm going to
everybody follow Brett and Blake.
Blake and Allie and me and Putt. Follow all of us.
Follow us, baby.
And special thanks to Tim Young for being here earlier. It was a lot of
And
fun.
tell
tonight,
Lady
guys.
Valkyrie we said hi.
Of course.
Thanks, Jim Bob. Thanks. Fans out there. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.